Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Sarita Edwards, Secretary for Madison City Council of PTAs, and joining me this afternoon is Mayor Paul Finley of Madison City, Madison, Alabama. Thank you so much for being with us, Mayor Finley.
Well, thank you for having me. It's great for you guys to do this.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we just want to ask you a few questions for the community.
Okay.
The first question is, what specific issue or reason motivates you to continue your service with the City Council?
Well, it's a great question. I got involved, we were talking with the PTA when my kids were there, but then I did a community service project at Palmer Park back in 2004. And what I recognized is that, at that point I needed city government. Until that point, I was just living here and just kind of glad that things were going well. But when I got involved, I recognized we needed to focus on some things and needed to have a fresh approach on them. In this case, it was working well with Huntsville and the surrounding communities. And we literally buried a hatchet. And because of that, we've seen road projects like County Line and 565 and Zert Road and Omass and Pike happen. The second part of it was schools. Coming in 2008, we had no plan for how we were going to pay for the second high school. And we found money once I was mayor, working with the school board, and we built James Clemens High School. In 2016, it's been the same thing with the property tax and putting together a plan. And so schools are critical, and we now have $150 million to spend on our community and our schools. And then lastly, it's economic development. As a mayor and council, we needed more sales tax revenue. The Shops of Madison and the Target Center was our first big hit in 2010. It actually is in Madison, and we're benefiting from that to the tune of about $2 million a year in sales tax, and the schools get about $300,000. So reasons that in turn needed actionable results, and I've been very proud to work with our team to get that done.
Awesome. Thank you. Second question. What is your strategy to ensure city growth aligns with our long-term vision and keeps the pace of our resources?
Well, and I love that question, and it's one of the things I'm really proud of. Coming in 2016, we recognized that we didn't really have a good game plan for how we were going to secure the money, but also how we were going to manage growth. So we immediately put the Madison Growth Impact Committee in place. They detailed everything that how we were going to grow in Madison for the next 20 years. We now know that. Yeah. We also then, working with our city council, put in place a growth policy. It's a hierarchy of how we manage what we say yes to and what we say no to, and we followed that. We haven't annexed any new land from Limestone County, which any big land, and then most importantly, we're putting development agreements in place. So if a new subdivision comes in, we stretch it out and we ask them to give back. So Madison's going to continue to grow. We'll end up being 70,000 or so, but we need to do it in a managed way. And we haven't just talked about it. We've actually done it as a mayor and council. So our game plan is to continue to grow, but in a managed way, and then look for that commercial and retail to come in to increase our sales tax base.
Awesome. Thank you. How would you ensure our schools are resourced for success?
Well, as mayor and council, our responsibility is to support the schools in two things. One, helping them obtain the infrastructure that they need to house our kids. As I've talked about, 2008, we needed a new high school. We secured a $36 million interest-free loan that in turn we only had to pay back $30 million of. And then the second part is the growth committee. We had to put something in place that in turn helped our schools understand how we were going to grow. And then once we knew that, they defined the property tax, and together we worked, and 70% of our community agreed with us because they saw a plan. Yeah. Now, the schools are responsible for a lot of the day-to-day things that need to happen. One of the things that they're going to have to do is figure out how to get the money in the rears, because as the students come in, they don't get the money for the next year. But that's more of a school board thing, not ours. Lastly, a lot of the stuff that happens in Madison happens because, the things like science classes and so forth, it's just part of what we in turn as parents, are willing to pay a little bit more so our kids have, in this case, the second best education in the state of Alabama.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Very last question. What message do you have for Madison families during this unusual time in our history?
Well, I think first and foremost is we're going to make it through together. The change that's occurred, the fear of the unknown has absolutely, been something that we've all had to manage. And as the mayor, first and foremost, I'm very proud of our community. We continue to work together, and we've had the lowest numbers in the state in almost every category. But most importantly, we're going to get through this together. And coming back on the other side, I think, again, just like when tornadoes happen, the community comes back stronger. And there's no question that as a community, we're going to do that. I know right now it's tough as a parent to manage your children and still have a job. And we're working diligently with our school system to get those kids back in the classrooms as quickly as possible, and then help our community through this. So I love our community. I'm very proud to be their mayor. And in this case, we're going to work together to get through this.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Mayor Finley, for just spending this little time with us this afternoon now. On behalf of Madison City Council of PTAs and the PTAs at every school in the Madison district, we thank you so much for your service.
And I thank you guys too.
Awesome. So we're going to stop the recording.